I heard a teacher ask, how do I facilitate a situational problem with my students? To answer this question, we need to understand to facilitate means to ease the way. This does not mean watering down a problem or lowering the standards. Rather, it means providing the students with opportunities to be successful as problem solvers. Facilitating a situational problem will require intentional planning on the part of the teacher. There are three phases to keep in mind: preparation, performance, and integration. In order to maximize the potential of any situational problem, it is important to consider all the phases. In the preparation phase, you are thinking of ways to launch the problem. Let's use an example of going on a road trip. You could launch the problem with a class discussion, asking students to share their experiences. You could read them a story, or even watch a short clip that relates to the problem. This phase is important as it will allow students to understand the context, make connections, and access prior knowledge. Whether the situational problem is being used for assessment or development, understanding the context is essential. This phase should not be overlooked. The performance phase is where you think of the students solving the problem and your role as a facilitator. This can play out in different ways depending on how the problem is being used. Will the situational problem be used to develop the competency or assess the competency? The intention you set guides to what degree collaboration will be encouraged. For the purposes of this video, we will look at performance phase through the lens of competency development. When developing the competency, the situational problem can be used at any point in the instruction, and student collaboration is highly encouraged. When students collaborate and solve problems in groups, it increases their level of understanding and engagement, resulting in an increase in their confidence and ability to persevere. Let's go back to our road trip example, where the task is to plan an itinerary for the trip and calculate total costs. If you wanted to use this problem to teach curriculum content, you could introduce the problem at the start of a unit on measurement of time. As students solve the problem in groups, they would be learning about elapsed time, creating itineraries, in the context of the problem. Learning curriculum content this way helps students connect concepts and become better problem solvers. Another strategy to develop the competency is using a problem where the concepts involved are familiar to the students, but they are seen in a new way. The students could start the problem individually, then midway through be given an opportunity to work in groups to revise their thinking, discuss any questions they may have, and then continue solving the problem on their own. Your role as a facilitator is to check for student understanding, observe students as they work, and ask questions that deepen their understanding. If needed, help can be provided to students who are stuck. In the integration phase, think about how you will create opportunities for the class to come together to discuss solutions, connect ideas, and deepen mathematical knowledge. Students often find it difficult to generalize and transfer their learning from one context to another. Revisiting the concepts explored in a situational problem is essential so that students can consolidate the learning. It will help them make connections and zoom out of the problem to see what they learned and how it can apply in life or in future lessons. Facilitating situational problems for students requires intentional planning. Each phase is important and valuable. If the three phases are thought of ahead of time, whether the problem be for assessment or development, the students will be more successful. This video covered the basics of facilitating situational problems through the lens of competency development. If you'd like to learn more about other ways to facilitate situational problems, reach out to your math consultant. Be sure to check out our other videos in this series on situational problems.